Lisa. I had an enlightenment spirit experience and I felt like I was floating in flow with presence happening. A deep sense of presence, unmoved by fear, because usually I'm always afraid of people or crossing roads, but there was this deep peace in presence, and I know this was my true nature. I came to this realization through realizing that what's outside of me is out of my control. What causes suffering is idolization, attachment, and judgments. This state of being lasted a week, and now my normal conditioned self and thoughts, habits are returning again. I'm now in fear of losing that pleasure and bliss and state of being. I've been meditating, but I know there's nothing that has to be done. What do I do? I know there's nothing has to be done. So I'm laughing at you because you say, I know there's nothing to be done, but what do I do? Like, it just happens to me. I'm only 19 and I'm like, there's no purpose to doing any more. And before that made me depressed, but now I'm at peace with it. Yet my conditioned self continuously seeks pleasure and my mind has become attached to the blissful state of being. Well, this isn't a simple question, Conrad. This is like a vital light when you're doing it on the internet. No, it's not really. I'm just joking, but it means that I can't get that deep with people. Like when I do one-to-one sessions, I go a lot more deep with people. Because I get them to try and say everything and experience it. So this question of what to do or not to do is to do with the solar plexus. Action will happen. Like, you need to survive, you need to provide food, you need to produce a home, you need to do all those things, and that will happen naturally. The body will get impulses to do it unless somebody else feeds you and cares for you all the time, and then you won't do it. But generally that will begin to appear. And that's moment to moment. So tomorrow you'll wake up and there will be a need, there will be hunger. You see, because we're not animals anymore, we don't act off that natural instinctual hunger. As soon as we get hungry, we go to the fridge. Often before we even get hungry, we go to the fridge just on routine time. It's like, bing, 9 a.m, breakfast, bowl of porridge. Or if you're in India, dosa or idli. The water goes in to clean the system, the bad water comes out. I said it was like a swimming pool, but then I realised that the swimming pool recycles its own water. It's more like an enema. I can't think of an animal or a system that is recycling the water. Putting good water out, in, letting bad water out, except all other animals, but I mean like an inanimate object I was trying to relate it to. So your body will naturally go towards surviving. And it's not that complicated. You don't need to think about it all the time. Like you go to university or you're not, or you don't. And the problem is that you think that, you know, if I go to university and I become a doctor, or if I have this type of career or that type of career, then I'll be happy in the future. And this is the old way of thinking. It's just following in your flow now. And what your flow feels like is an expansiveness, is an openness. So it's just following that. So when you're hungry, there is an openness for food. It's like a natural reaction. And what we're doing is, or what humans are doing, is they're constantly thinking about what to do, what to do, what to do, what to do, what to do. And it's a solar plexus disbalance, but nobody believes me. Everyone thinks it's a real true question. And then they keep coming to me and saying, what should I do, Lisa? It's a solar plexus disbalance. Rebalance the solar plexus. And the solar plexus at its extreme, when it's really disbalanced, then it goes into depression. There's nothing I can do. It's hopeless. This life is hopeless. There's no point to anything. Of course there's no point to anything, but no other animal minds about that. The squirrel's just like, yeah, collect a nut, collect a nut, collect a nut, collect another nut, run up and down a tree, collect a nut, run up and down a tree, have sex, have babies, run up and down a tree, collect a nut, run away from the dog, run away from the dog. And the squirrel's not sat there contemplating the meaning of its life. It just is, it's just being, it's here. But the human does that not because it has any purpose. It does it because the solar plexus goes out of balance and it produces those types of thoughts. They're just thoughts. And then they produce a certain type of experience. They're not true. They're not reality. What's reality? This moment, this presence. And those thoughts don't belong here. Those thoughts are like clouds passing through, but they're not here. They're not this all the time. What's here all the time? And that is the consciousness, the empty looking, and this sense of existence. And then everything else is passing through. And that thought appears and disappears. It's like believing that the window is always in your experience and is a part of your identity. It's just a thought. It's a conditioned thing that comes up with our current language, and it makes you feel a certain way. It makes you feel alienated and lonely. And the more you think it, the more it encourages that. It's not true. What's here? What's left? And you can do a couple of things. You can do a solar plexus exercise. You could do an exercise off the internet for the solar plexus. You could rub, you could massage your body. And then you can also put your attention there and just see the basis of what the solar plexus thinks. The basis of what the solar plexus thinks is, I can do it, I can survive, I can make it, I am strong enough, I will survive, I will do it. I can choose, I can be hopeful. And then out of balance, it's I'm helpless, I'm hopeless, I'm frustrated, I can't do it, it's too hard, I'm stuck, it's never going to work out, life is meaningless, etc. So you just get to the base thoughts and you see them for what they are. They're responses that come up when there's been too much focus on the solar plexus. Well, not too much focus on the solar plexus, too much focus on solar plexus thinking. And it's just encouraged it, and then it creates those feelings. So the solar plexus creates those feelings of loneliness, of despair, of isolation, of numbness, of frustration, of anger, and all of them are taken to be true and taken to be something about you, and they're not. They come and they go. What remains? What's always here when you feel frustrated, when you feel happy, when you feel motivated, when you feel despair, despondent? What's left? It's here. And to move it through, to help moving it through, you first of all have to see it's not true. When you believe it's true, you sit on the sofa or you get totally consumed on it. You see it's not true, and then you can do one of these exercises to move it through. Another exercise you could do is putting your attention in the present moment, putting your attention in what's happening in the I am. And when I suggest all these exercises, know that the one that's doing it is also not a fixed entity. It's a happening, and it's not you doing it. It happens. I suggest it, and it either happens or it doesn't happen. And that one that says, I'm doing it, I've got to fix myself, I've got to free myself, I've got to do as she says, is also something that comes and goes in presence and isn't who you are. It comes and goes. The one that says, yes, I can do something. Yes, I'm doing this. It's just a story that you're doing something, that you're choosing to do something. It, again, isn't a fact. It comes and it goes. What's left? Presence, this moment. This is who you are. You're not anything you label yourself by. Labeling is something we use as communication. This is who you are, right here, right now. This is the only place that you are, and this is freedom. This seeking stress drives from necessity of doing something. Everybody in this world is doing something. You talk, others produce goods. Deep down we want to do nothing, but we must do something nevertheless, and that is stressful. Actually, we don't want to do nothing. You'll sit on the sofa doing nothing for a period, but then you'll actually get up and do something when the impulse comes. Often though, we're doing something because we're telling ourselves we should do something, and that's exhausting and makes us not want to do it.